Utah, when I was a boy, everybody knew what a downwinder was. We were the anti-nuclear capital of the world. I was an autistic kid. My father was a drafted United States Marine, an incredible man. I come from an incredible family. My uncle stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. I grew up on a huge ranch out by the lake. He was a beautiful, incredible person. He was at Pendleton, combat ready, and they were human guinea pig. They were marched into the trenches in Nevada. They're called atomic veterans. He nearly died at the blast. Between 1951 and 1968, we had 300 open-air tests. Well, as different scientists started to write about this, Wallace Stegner was at the University of Utah at the time. I got to know him. Edward Abbey was hanging around there. I got to know him. I got to know all these environmentalists, and I was an environmentalist, and it was a passionate, intense subject matter there.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Plumgate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. Plumgate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. They'll be calling you a radical. May God have mercy on all of your souls.
Nuclear power was evolving. We were promised, oh, this can't happen, it will never.
Well, good morning. Time to yell for all you radicals to come out of your dogma snuggies for at least an hour, twice a week. Got a lot to talk about. Forbes NBC they're saying, Warriors, come out and play, Warriors. That's what they're saying to us. All you anti-nuclear activists, how much shit you going to take from this crater-faced punk, this Forbes piece of shit, these banana fuckers and their propaganda machine. Now NBC's got full. Now remember, NBC is the biggest media corporation on Earth. On Earth. They come out. We got a lot of noise here, so I was outside, but I got to back out. But these guys are monsters. But anyway, they've declared war. NBC, now you think about this, all you anti-nukers out there, you so-called truthers, you reasonable, rational people that just basically trying to get the truth out about Fukushima. NBC is reporting they're coming out the last 2 days and they're hammering it and they're placing it into the top of the search engine. Now, you know they do that by money. That you can buy your way to the top of the search engine anytime you want. They're top. They've been top for 3 days. They're saying that all of Fukushima, all Fukushima evacuation areas will be safe by 2021. Okay, now, that's not just yellow journalism. Well, that's the opposite. That's blacking. That is criminal. That is criminal. That is so hardcore criminal. Now, remember, 2020 vision not so good as I did a bunch of videos at Olympic Park in Calgary. Remember, that's the year after the Olympics. So here's what I think, personally. I think that's political cover for litigation. Here's what I think. They start the propaganda machine. All areas will be cleaned up by 2021 to give them cover for the Olympics 2020. If these sickening, evil fucking monsters are, and I'm here to tell you, and I'll tell you how sick athletes are and how dumb people are. Outside the Lines comes out, ESPN, which they've done some brilliant work. I don't badmouth all media. ESPN Outside the Lines has done some brilliant work. They did a brilliant piece on why are all the triathletes dying. A lot of them come to Utah to train in Moab. They swim in San Francisco Harbor. I mean, go to San Francisco, go to the bay, right up above Fisherman's Wharf, right there at the old amphitheater there. That's where they train. Wonder why you're dying. And it's unbelievable. You know, North Utah, southern Utah is the most Canadian place on the face of the earth. You know, I'm in Canada. By the way, I'm on a little tyrant here about, I'm telling you, I'm warning everyone out there. I am warning everyone, do not fly on United Airlines. Now, I didn't know this. You know, I fly a lot. I did not know this, but United Airlines actually brags and takes pride saying that they have the oldest fleet in the industry. When I flew to Canada on the 21st in Salt Lake City, we're on the tarmac. They're putting up the door came off the hinges. Oh, quick fix. I'm like, oh my God, no. Why? The pilot gets off. Why they're putting on the quick fix? The door jams. Locks everybody in the aircraft for an hour and a half. Can't get off. Finally to get the back door open. The pilot comes on, oh, sorry, I've been locked out the plane. We're going to unload the plane, then we're going to reload you. Just delay. And in the whole meantime, they're sending you texts every 15 minutes. 15 minutes delay. 15 minutes delay. You know, and then they sit and play a dog and pony show, waiting for the air marshals, the, you know, inspectors, which in the United States, what a joke that is. Finally, they cancel the flight. You know, I'm due up there at the Salsas. Got a lot of people coming, a lot of people showing up for the Salsas, or not the Salsas. So they start scrambling you, whatever. I arrived 7 hours late up there. They hand me a voucher for $7. I'm not shitting you. I said, what the fuck's this? Food voucher. I said, $7 in a fucking airport? You can't even buy a fucking hamburger for $7 in an area. Are you fucking nuts? You know, I took it and threw it at her. She says, fuck you. Take your voucher, stick it in your ass. So, anyway, I get up there, whatever. So, then, you know, we do everything that we did. By the way, Canada was amazing. Calgary is much, much different than I thought. Calgary is an amazing city. Amazing city. It's, you think redneck, hillbilly, freaking backwards? Oh, no. Oh, no. Very dynamic. And to all you guys, well, I never seen so many sexy-ass whoa girls in my life up there. You do, I mean, we're ruined here in the U.S. All we see is these big, fat, sloppy slobs and tattoos all over them. And just, you know, it's like they take pride in their obesity. I never saw one single obese female. For that matter, I saw very few obese men up there. Not one. I didn't see one. Not one. And, you know, all the women I talked to of all age, first thing, I mean, go on these incredible rants. Worse than me. What does it matter with you Americans? Look at these slobby, grotesque people. You walk around, what does it matter with you freaks? Want to police the world, bombing the world? Look at you fucking thing. And you're a bunch of, I mean, we go down there and all we see is these big, fat slobs with these tattoos all over. And it's true. It's true. It's so grotesque. It's so grotesque. And they're like, not one up there. Not one. Calgary has a lot to be proud of, I can tell you that. It's really an amazing place. Shane Russell, Troy Livingston, myself. That's probably, I think, the first time either one of them have done a camera. And they're not about to go on camera for anybody. You know, they did for me, and they did a lot of work. We did a tremendous amount of work, and it'll be coming out over the next, you know, weeks, days. Jeff Palco, we spent a lot of time with him. He's an amazing guy. Really an amazing guy. So, on the way home, I got a flight at 6 a.m. Well, you got to go through customs, so I got to be there at 4 a.m. Thomas Ackerman's with me the whole time. And so I call. I says, hey, you delayed me 7 hours, whatever. You know, just switch my flight. Let's just put this behind us, make this right. Oh, no, we can't do that, blah, blah, blah. Let me talk to your supervisor. No, we can't. They won't allow, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I says, really? There's no dynamics about you people? You people can't even break ranks. They've got you so Nazi down as an employee. I told the supervisor, I says, you know, it's amazing to me what an obedient slaves all of you have turned into. It is. It is amazing what obedient slaves. So they won't switch it. And I'm like, well, fuck you, whatever. So after we get to about, 3:30 in the morning, gets to the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning. By the way, getting through customs in Calgary Airport is a disaster. A disaster. Lines from hell, and it's the American customs that's the problem. So, we get through there, finally get on the plane, got us on there at 5:30, on there for a long time. A long time. What the hell? Finally, after sitting on the tarmac for an hour and 20 minutes, they come on and says, oh, the engine won't start, but we're going to, we got a guy working on it. What? This can't happen again. So I turn on my camera, start video recording all this. I'm going to just document these fucking evil killers. And so this goes on and on and on. So finally, I guess they partially get it started, I don't know what, and they says, well, we have to have the inspector, the Canadian marshal, look at it. He comes over looking, I'm looking out the window, whatever, and he's like, shaking his head, nope, you're not flying this plane. They were going to fly it. They were going to fly it. So I get off and I go up and I talk to the stewardess and, this is all we're going to unload you. So the stewardess and the thing, and I'm like, you work for these fuckers and these old fucked up planes like this? What's the statistical probability of both flights? So that tells me this happens all the time. All the time. So I'll fly that scumbag United. And so I'm loaded, so I take a fit. And it has amazed me, all the people on the plane. It's amazing how people, even Canadians, especially Canadians, by the way, are willing to be abused. Absolutely, I'm throwing a fit, and I'm not, they're just scrambling around. They got no extra help in there. They got no connecting. Everybody's missing all connecting flights. It's a disaster. I'm taking a fit. While I'm talking to some Canadian woman tells me, starts going off on me about me being mad, blah, 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 blah. He attacked me. He got all vicious with me. She's the only sloppy Canadian woman. She wasn't that bad. One of these, the type, the oil complex, flying from Calgary to Houston. This ugly 55-year-old, 60, just ugly, was trying to look young with the rings on her toes and the fake breath and just, hideous. And her husband, this big, stupid-looking guy that's just, butt ugly. You can see that both had Botox 50 times. And I said, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me like that. So I look right over her husband. I said, get your animal on her leash right now. Get her on your leash, because I'm not going to fight her. I'm not going to argue with a woman. I don't do go play that. But I will you. And, that fucker, I got right in his fucking face. And I said, it is amazing to me how you people are willing to be abused. And everybody went on. Finally, some young guys, if this had happened to them before, headed to Florida, they take a fit. And they go up the counter. They crowd line. They're pissed. They go up there, and they're like, no, you're not giving me no fucking voucher. You're $100. Take your voucher and stick it in your fucking ass. They go psycho. So, and everybody's all calm, whatever. So, this goes on and on and on. Everybody just calm, cool, collected, and just lets them abuse you. And nothing. So they're scrambling people all over the country in airplanes. They finally, 3-4 hours later, they said, we're going to fly you to Houston. You'll be home at 3:30. And I said, fuck you off. You're a little fucking hour, 2 hour, less than 2 hour fucking flight. You're going to turn it into a 12 hour. I don't, fuck you. You're not abusing. What about putting me on another airline? That's the fucking law. Put me on another airline direct flight. There are no direct flights. I said, the fuck there are. I live in Utah. Delta's headquartered there. There's direct flight from here to fucking Salt Lake. Oh, yes, sorry, sir. And by the way, in Canada, they do to the Bangladesh and the Indians populace what we do to the Mexican populace. They abuse they exploit the Indian and Bangladesh exactly the way we exploit the Mexican population on Balco. So, and they're willing to do it. So, they're overbooked. Get your supervisor. So finally, there's this woman walking around, and I says, "You work for?" So what are you talking? He's lying to me. No, I don't work for United. I don't work for United. Yeah, I don't work for them. I don't work. Okay. So anyway, this goes on, and finally I said, fuck it. I'll walk over to fucking Delta, and can't find a Delta. There's no customer service in that airport. So finally I find this, one of the things is, what about your direct flight to Salt Lake? Oh yeah, we have one. Well, I guess overbooked. It's not overbooked. You got all kinds of seats on it. So then I walk over, and I says, oh, now you're fucking lying to me. And, and I says, what are you, the CEO's freaking nephew? I says, you're such good, obedient slaves. It is amazing what obedient. And then finally, this woman who's telling me she didn't work for him, she comes over to me. I says, it was so outrageous. I ended up in that airport I was in that airport for over 12 hours. Fucking disaster. So finally, I'm like, well, God, Ackerman dropped me at 4 o'clock in the morning. He went back and went to bed, and I think his flight was at 2 o'clock. I'm like, I want to. There's the airport separating Canadian and American. I said, well, I'm going to walk over there. And there's big glass barriers. And by the way, that Fresh Juice Bar is nice restaurants, but on the Canadian side, as soon as you go through customs, they seal it off and lock you in. And on the American side, a fucking Burger King. So here I am, no food, no juice, no nothing. You know, and I have to have certain things in my body. I have to. You know, it's horrible. So I walk over and I'm like, well, I'm just going to walk on Canadian side and see if I can spot that fucking Ackerman. You know, it's got to get close. You know, and there's glass panels. You can't park and see. This is the craziest story. So I'm walking through and I do a double take. Right up next to the glass is a nice restaurant. And there's a guy sitting there eating, watching his computer, sitting there, and there's a video playing of me. You know, and I look over, and it's fucking Ackerman. So I knocked on the fucking door, and he turned around. I think I about gave the fire. I think he thought he saw a ghost. He can't get through, I can't through, so we got to do sign language. So it was insane. It was horrible. It is the abuse, and the Americans are willing to be abused. The Canadians are willing for these corporations to absolutely abuse us. You call up call centers in India. Go Brooklyn Dodgers. I live on Green Street in Brooklyn. Go Brooklyn Dodgers. Fuck yeah, the Dodgers left fucking Brooklyn in fucking 1958. You know, they allow it. You know, and the money just folds tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. Oh, free market fairy tales. You know, we don't need any regulation on these airliners. We don't need any regulation. You know, free market will handle it. If the plane blows up and you die, you'll quit flying them when you come back in your next fucking life after you get your fucking own planet. Another one, oh, you'll get your own, the free market after you're dead will clean it up. It's so outrageous how Americans are willing to be abused and they'll support the very monsters. Oh, no, these CEOs need more money. I hear it all the time. The free market. What the fuck are you lunatics fucking talking about? They're fucking insane. Calgary is incredible. But we as anti-nuclear activists, we have to defend. We have to fight. We have to stand up. Forbes is picking a fight with us. You can see this crater-faced, creepy motherfucker over and over and over. The bananas, the whole thing. This crater-faced fucker, I get a fucking chance. One time, I want to fight. That's one of my goals in life. He and Ted Nugent. That pussy punk motherfucker. Once, I want to just fucking go at it with either one of them before I fucking die. Fucking just, I don't care what they can decide what we're going to use. Fists, knives, fucking guns. I don't give a fuck. Whatever they decide. He's declared, this guy is attacking. He's warriors, come out and play. So when are we going to play? You're going to sit and let this fucker pull this? This Mugu who's done these comics and this book in fucking Japan is brilliant. It is brilliant. He's using creative art like we're trying to fucking use to call attention. It's brilliant. And the Japanese are buying it up and running because, look, it's kind of like when 9/11 was happening here. Well, the war machine. So the war machine's going to Afghanistan, and we're all fucking just being fucking completely fucking covered up and fooled. Not me, but most people. You traveled to Europe, you traveled anywhere in the world at that time. Everybody knew the real dynamic over there except for us. We were the only ones getting fun. That's the same thing that's going on in Japan. You talk to people inside Japan, they're the most, there's only one place more uninformed about Fukushima than North America. That's Japan. How are they going to get any information? So this guy writes this comic. Well, they can get at it. It's the only information they got. It is so outrageous. Yet we are willing to accept. Forbes comes out on the attack like this, and he makes the statement this morning. You look at the headline this morning. It is criminal to scare the people of Japan with radiation. No, it is criminal to fucking not fucking tell the truth of the radiation here and in Japan. That's fucking a crime. These are crimes against humanity. Forbes is these are crimes. This is the SS. This is the SS. They might as well be just blowing people's fucking heads off. Cancer is spiking and killing people. Birth defects killing people. Big time. Cancer rates are spiking. Death is spiking across North America. Right here. Right fucking now. This fucker, NBC. Now what they're doing on the 2021 is so, I could prove it. These fucking athletes are so fucking focused and in on what they do. And I mean, like Americans, they don't even pay attention. They'll show up to those fucking Olympics in Tokyo. And man, this is all about litigation. This is how they play. I know how they play. The IAA, the IOC, they're the same fucking people. These creepy fuckers, yet we don't fucking go to war with them. They go to war on us. They play fucking evil. We try to play nice. Oh, they're tidy little people, Japan. That's so racist. She's a fucking racist if you can't fucking get it. Helen Caldicott is a hardcore racist. A hardcore racist. Now you think about that statement. The greatest ecological disaster in human history. At least 3 triple meltdowns, more likely fucking 6. 4 on fire, been on fire the whole time. Oh, we can't see it. There was a headlight back there. Really? Really? Fucking wow. The ignorance is fucking so grotesque. Oh, the ice wall. Why won't the ice wall work? Let's see. Trying to put ice around. What is the temperature there? Fucking so. Yeah, but it's a different heat. It's a different fucking... It's nuclear fission. Can't see it, can't taste it, can't smell. Well, I believe that you can see it once in a while. The certain demographic gets right. Oh, this guy. Sorry about this. These lunatics are so insane here. Fucking car alarm. What is the matter with these people? Like anybody wants to steal your fucking Buick. Fucking wackos. God, turn that shit off. Jesus. Yeah, noise pollution to the 10th power around here. I know when people used to care about noise. Yeah, they want to steal your fucking Buick. Fucking piece. Yeah, they want to come into your house and steal your fucking Walmart shit. Give me a Walmart, give me guns. Fucking America, home of the fucking cowards. Home of the cowards. Land of the unfree. Brave fuck. These are the most unbrave people in human fucking history. Why do you think the military-industrialized complex is being able to fucking extort you, loot you? Because that's not us. Our army's not cowards. That's what Forbes is doing. These athletes will show up in 2020, and they'll all get fucking cancer. And then they'll say, oh, no, in the lawsuits, the litigation, no, you can't sue us. We told you. NBC reported it the whole time that we wouldn't have the cleanup done by 2021, and you came in 2020. You think it's coincidence they use that date? Oh, I don't. I know how they play. And it's just totally made up. Fukushima will not be safe to go in 4021. Forever. You know, it's just like Sanjay Gupta. There's another one. How long are you going to let that fucker attack you? That is criminal. He is a practicing neurosurgeon. Forget his fucking yellow journalism, his black and yellow journalistic horse shit, the CNN. You know, they can pick and choose whatever they want to report. The noise pollution around here is so obscene. Cars, I mean, Rachel Carson used to talk about this. She says, you lunatics will freaking accept this. All this radical, this consumer-based culture just chasing your tail, this madness. She used to call it living on the edge of insanity. Living on the edge of insanity, that's no way to live. That's not living, that's dying. Rachel Carson. Boy, she got it. That's all we do. We live on the edge of the center. Get in your car, go freaking on these fucking freeways in your metal fucking coffins and chase your fucking tail on a big circle for what? For what? So you can fucking get some gold bars, or you can get some fucking, I don't know what you're going to get. Go further in debt? It's obscene. So they use the date 2021, and they play long ball. Oh, yeah, the nuclear, they don't fuck around. These people fucking think way out. I mean, they know it, and they're always got their money on litigation. Always on litigation. They always have a back door. And the back door in America, and Canada's worse than us. Do not kid yourself. Canada's cover-up of Fukushima, there's only one place worse to cover up of Fukushima than the United States and Canada. Now, at least, like Troy Livingston said beautifully, the only place that in North America that did issue a radiation warning was Boise, Idaho. You know, right by where me and all my friends got cancer at the same time. I live fucking 50 miles from the Idaho border. We got hammered here. Like Idaho and Utah and Montana and Colorado could take anymore. Open air tests, 350 of them in Nevada. What is that? And like, what's his name says so beautifully, how can you call them open air tests? when they weren't open-air tests. They were fucking pure genocide, mass fucking murder. Mutations? Oh, wait till you guys get a load of my, have I been documenting my sunflowers, my volunteer sunflowers that come up in front of my house? Is my pine trees, my 30-something-year-old pine trees, my beautiful, have all died. My big, you can see those videos I did right before. There's a really great video you can look up in August of 2011, before I got cancer. And my big, beautiful fucking sunflowers, they're volunteers right there. I'm standing behind them the day the gold capitulated at 1900. I'm talking about crazy Irish drunken fucking, crazy Irish fucking friend. I'm talking about him telling him, because I was managing his portfolio at the time. I managed a lot of people's wealth at the time. They wouldn't listen to me either, by the way. All these people would not listen to me. Even these people that I've been so good with managing, I tell them to get out of gold at 1900, the day gold capitulated. And telling them to buy Tesla at 15, telling them to buy Apple at $260. Telling them to get out of their silver. Them big, beautiful sun. Look how pristine and beautiful those things are. Okay, the next couple of years, last year that heads of them all died and they mutated out of the side. Wait till you see them this year. I got one going, I got back and I was looking at, holy, you want to talk about mutation. That big, beautiful fucking sunflower, he's coming up. One of them, it's got fucking little fucking mutated heads bringing out all over the sides of it. It's the bizarrest thing I've ever seen. We got hammered here. And nuclear radiation and nuclear fallout affects every single living thing on the planet. Every piece of DNA, every fucking plant, every animal, every fucking two-legged drinking, beer-drinking mammal, all of them, every fucking one of them. Now, I met a guy, and I want to talk about this. I think this is so important, about the different dichotomy here and the different dichotomy up there. There's the so-called salt-of-the-earth cowboy, rancher, which the far right has hijacked here. Okay, so really, you think about we're cowboys, whatever. I grew up on a fucking ranch. They used to call them drug sale cowboys. But here, you can throw it right into the Bundy thesis. And we know they're racist, they're far-right radicals, they're insane. And, of course, we know what the left is, pathetic. These latte fucking, the left here, these so-called progressive, they call themselves progressive when they're the exactly opposite of a progressive. They're the opposite of Bobby. They're the opposite of John Kennedy, Martin Luther. The opposite. The left is pathetic. The far-right is insane. In BC, in Alberta, these people are hardy people. A lot of ranchers, a lot of cattle industry, I met this, pretty cowboy, I call them. There's a lot of them here. They have these really tight Wranglers on. They're always pressed, have a really pretty shirt on. They have a nice hat. They're very clean cut. And I go on this incredible rant I have for years here about pretty cowboys. By the way, anybody who thinks that's how cowboys dressed, real cowboys are they never dress like that. That's Hollywood. I don't know what that is, but it's bizarre to me. I meet one that's dressed up like that in Calgary from BC. Okay, there's plenty of those guys here. They fall into you're environmental. We're on the Bundy side. That's what they are here because they've been indoctrinated by the Foxconn News. So I get talking to this guy about the pipeline. He brings it up, not me, about the pipeline coming from BC across there. Now here they're going to say, oh yeah, we need you up. Oh, not these guys. His family, everybody up there. Oh no. He gets out his 30-30, which, by the way, I have my grandfather's beautiful 30-30. When you hear me go on these anti-gun rant, I'm all for it. I live on the ranch. Like I said, people say, I'm going to pull my Glock on you. I says, that's fine. I live in the home of John Browning. Well, we don't believe in 9-dar. Our guns are beautiful masterpiece things, and we don't pack around a handgun and conceal it. We throw it over our shoulder at 30-30. And this radical told me he was going to shoot me. And I says, well, I hope you don't miss. I grew up out here on the ancient lake floor in Ogden, Utah, the home of the gun. And we don't carry handguns here. I started shooting when I was 3. I could shoot before I could walk. I can shoot the zero out of a Coke can from 300 yards without even trying with my old freaking 1920s 30-30 Winchester, and that's what he had. He says, I threw it over my shoulder, and he says, You know, BP's engineers, these guys come through, and he says, I look right at him. This is my land, fucker. You put this pipeline through here over my dead fucking body. And he meant it. He didn't fuck around. These people are environmentalists like they were here before the far right captured them. When I was a boy on the ranchers, my father and these guys, they were fucking environmentalists hardcore. You fuckers wanted to exploit the land, these fucking corporation greed fuckers. And like this guy said, he says, yeah, they tell us, oh, we're going to bring these fucking jobs, they're going to bring these jobs. And he told me a really great story about Vancouver Olympics. I got some great videos at Olympic Park up there and here at Olympic Park in Utah. The most corrupt Olympics in history are right here where I'm standing. I'm hiking, going on my hike. I was getting ready to hike. These fucking monsters in the cars over here in the parking lot. You can't get through. He said in Vancouver Olympics, you know, all these, this labor and labor, he said they brought in fucking giant fucking cruise liners, parked them on the water full of slaves. Brought them in, did all the work, then loaded them up and got them out. They're slaves. He says, yeah, they're going to tell this job. I said, oh, we hear it here over and over. Matt Godfrey, that little weasel dick piece of shit who was our mayor. Oh, we're going to bring in these jobs, and then what they do is they export illegals in here and just exploit them, which they do in Canada, the Indian, Bangladesh. We do it to Mexican people here. Now, it's not their fault. It's the person paying them cash and exploiting them. It's not the exploited, it's the exploiters. So they say, oh, we're promising you these jobs, this money. What they're trying in Idaho right now, they're trying to expand the repository there in Idaho right now. And I spoke as a legislator with some people up there. They're trying. So he says, I told them straight up. Their government sell them straight up. Let's see the money up front. Not in some bank account. You give us cleared fund checks. After we cash the check, then we'll have this conversation. You give everybody a fucking big check. They lie. Oh, we'll give you 78, and then they fucking don't do shit, and then they exploit labor. Here we go. There's another one. Got his big diesel fucking Ram truck. What is the matter with these fucking monsters? Broke off their ass, all of them. So impoverished and impoverished them fucking selves. Living on the edge of insanity, even here in Utah. That's why I do my videos down by that pond. I want to do my videos all outside. You know, it's important, but you know as well as I do. Go try to find a place to do a video outside where you live, where you can't fucking just insanity in background noise. Cars. In the last 30 years in the United States, remember when we were kids in the 70s, 80s? Half the population didn't even drive. People walked. Do you know cars have increased in the United States in the last 30 years? Look it up. 4,000%. That's all we see. It's horrible. It's horrific. It's grotesque. The obesity, the lazy, the chasing the fucking tail. So this guy, this is, like I said, he's the same type of guy. You'd meet him here, you swear his name. He's got his knife on his belt, whatever. Same type of guy here. Say, oh, you fucking wrong. My sister, my mom, all that. This guy says, hey, come on over to the house. Let's make us some smoothies. Throws bananas, strawberries in there. I'm like, really? You know, some avocados, you know, thing. Because they're like they were here. That's how I was raised. That's how the ranchers were. Not now. Now the ranchers are Bundy. Like, what if we bought a like, they built the food good money. He was baby raping, pedophile, fucking mooching, lying, phony fucking fuckers who don't give a fuck about our neighbors. We don't care about other people. We don't care about our spirituality, and we hate the environment. People here, it's like, I'm in Calgary. The one thing in Utah that I loved when I was a boy out here was the jackrabbits. There were thousands of them. They were big ears, and they were everywhere here. They're gone. I think I actually killed the last jackrabbit in Weber County by accident. And you know where I killed it? I was out protesting, this was many years ago, out at Westinghouse, secret Moxie fuel plant out behind my house on the edge of the lake, in my Cadillac. My Made in America Cadillac. And this big jack jumped right in front of me, and I got him. It's the last one I've ever seen, for real. In Calgary, they run up and down the streets. Here in Utah and Western United, people who would just go kill them just to watch them die. People hunt just to watch an animal die here. For real. For real. So Alberta and Calgary out there, oh no. Well, people hunt and fish up there. But not to kill the animals. They live in, there's still people trying to live in symphony in the oil complex up there. Now, granted, they're all fucked up. There's plenty of these fucking, You know, the direct flights going from fucking Calgary to Houston. Have you ever been to Houston? The most environmentally grotesque place. You know, I'm serious. Go to Houston. That's the most grotesque place. And think about what the name of the airport is in Houston. It fits perfectly. George H. Bush. I wouldn't fly to that fucking airport. Somebody put a gun to my fucking head. The place stinks. Look at the sky. The sky is grotesque. Every fake facade that is ever there. Oh, let's go skiing in Park City when they don't even know where to fucking ski in Utah. Fuck, Park City's a fucking joke. Saddest fucking hills there are to ski in fucking there are in all Utah. Anybody who knows anything comes here to Ogden to ski. The steepest, longest downhill. That's like in Canada too. Oh, you buggers think you got Rockies. Look at our Canadian Rockies. They says, oh no, you got more of them. Yeah, and they're magnificent, by the way. The Canadian Rockies are fucking magnificent. But so are they here. I says, oh no, don't give me that shit. Right here where I stand those videos, that's Ben Lomond Peak. That's Willard Peak. That's fucking Mount Ogden Peak. Those fucking things go from 4,000 to 10,000 fucking feet in fucking fast. They're grand. Oh no. You don't try that shit with me. And I can prove it. Right here at Mount Ogden Skiers at Snow Basin, as they hijacked and killed that, you know, trains on it, the longest, steepest downhill in the world. Oh, no, trust me, I'm a skier. That'll scare the bejesus you. Try going off that top. People come in here all the time. They think, oh, we're yuppies from Houston. We're going to ski at Basin. I tell them, good luck. They take one fucking little half a fucking route on that hill, and they spend their entire trip in the lodge. There's warnings all over up there. Unless you're extremely advanced skier, don't even fucking try. You will kill yourself. The Austrians train here. The Austrians train here. The greatest downhill skiers, steepest skiers on earth are the Austrians. Because they come here to train on our mountain. Any of you guys want to come up? I've invited people all the time. I'll take you up there. You want to go skiing? Let's go fucking skiing. You know, it's like when I used to go back and forth from here and these fucking surfers in Southern California, you know, and I love the surfer population. By the way, the Santa Cruz Surfer Society, which they are the hardcorest of the hardcore, in Symphony, within several months after Fukushima, they were in my sight daily because they knew the ocean was polluted before Fukushima and they were threatening to leave. When Fukushima happened, and nobody knows the fucking Pacific Ocean like the fucking Santa Cruz Surfers. No one. Authentic, real deal, hippies, they're true counterculturists, not you fake hippie crits. These fuckers do not participate in anything. They're communal. They're rich, by the way, because they've had years to do it. They're hardcore. They don't fuck around. They left. They sold their real estate in Santa Cruz that they've held for fucking multi-generations, and they went to Chile. Bought entire they're the fuck out of here. They knew. They invited me to go. They said, Kevin, bring your whole family. We got a place. That's how much they love me, because they know my environmentalist activism before Fukushima happened. Because of my work on BP, because of my work fighting the nuclear cartel long before Fukushima happened, they know. They know the salt of the earth people. They know. There are no salt of the earth people here left in Utah. They're corporate welfare farmers that exploit labor because they're exploiting labor on a tractor with, they don't actually till the earth. It's like Jefferson said, the closest you can be to God is to till the earth. Well, let me tell you, Thomas Jefferson never tilled anything. His slaves tilled the earth. Thomas Jefferson was a slave owner. Thomas Jefferson inherited fucking, by today's standards, billions of dollars. Billions. He was an oligarch. I love Jefferson in a lot of ways. I absolutely love him. But he didn't till anything, and he blew all the money, and he was a hardcore alcoholic. He used to drink fucking well over a gallon of wine a day. But he was pragmatic enough that Hamilton was the opposite of Jefferson, but he wasn't. Hamilton was the first abolitionist. He hated usury, he hates it. Why? Oh, he grew up in the Caribbean. From Scottish royalty, his father abandoned his mother. Grew up with his mother. Read Greek tragedy over and over and over and over and over and over and over. He watched the slave trade. He was doing the books for the slave traders. That's how brilliant he was at 10, 11, 12 years old. Gee, he watched it firsthand his whole life. He freaking becomes George Washington, the greatest president we ever had, George Washington. Washington put all his faith. He knew what a pragmatic genius he was. He knew. Washington knew. Hamilton would have been the second president of the United States if the other side didn't tee him up sexually. And he was honest. He says, yeah, she teed me up. This politically operative, this is how radical politics even was then, hired his own sexy, beautiful wife to seduce Hamilton while he's in Washington, while he's living up there. By the way, Hamilton, first Secretary of the Treasury. Look it up. You know how much he paid himself? Nothing. 0.0. Paulson robbed the Treasury for $400 billion. Looted it. Lock, stock, barrel. The United States, it has been totally looted. That's what these pipelines are about. That's what these mines are about. Oh, free market, we need jobs. They take these pipelines right to the ports. I did the work on the Horizon rig and offshore drilling. I was participating as an economist on the impact studies. And I said long before BP ever, this will not add jobs, this will take away jobs. Because what it will do, it'll allow them to drill the oil out of there. They'll be able to pull their tankers to the oil. This oil will never see the United States at light of day, and they'll avoid all royalties. They'll avoid all subsidies. They won't have to pay one penny onto the world markets. Our oil. Our oil, look it up. Let's see how much. Look it up. I don't want everyone. You think 6 inches under your house, you don't own it. You don't even own the water fucking rights. You don't own the mineral rights. Who owns them? Oh, the fucking Queen has fucking got most of them. The biggest fucking open pit mine in the world is right here. Kennecott, Rio Tinto. The second biggest gold-producing mine on Earth. And, you know, and then this guy, the same guy I'm talking to, tried to give me this line about you take all the gold in the world, stack it up, want to be this big on a football field. I'm like, are you smoking crack? Come to where I live. Come out here to Battle Mountain, Nevada. Come here to this mine. Since gold strip mining out here in Nevada, I can show you strip mines that would blow your fucking mind. Part of the strip mining techniques, you have to get about $700-800 an ounce to break even, so they couldn't do it. Gold has been well over fucking $1,000 a fucking ounce for a long time. Gold peaked 4 years ago in 1900. These fuckers have went mad with mining. Went psychotic. Now, of course, they try to control it. Like, think about the diamond industry. Diamonds are not precious gems. And any of you that buy a diamond for your wife, just like this girl woman I was having a fight with, big fake with the biggest, ugliest diamond area, and this, oh, God, these two people. You could see they had shot up Botox in their face. You know, that guy freaking, he got freaking right up my face, and so, you know how I play. I got right back in him, and, you know, I told him straight up. I says, you know what, you come at me and you touch me. I says, you're going to get a Botox injection in your fucking jaw that will knock you out. You got me? And he started knee-knocking and freaking like the little phony bitch that he was. You know, and I told him, get your animal on a leash. Fuck these people. I'm not dealing with their shit. You guys can. You can go with your passive-aggressive freaking activism. You could be Helen Keller. Oh, the Japanese are tidy little people. They'll clean it up. Oh, this is, hi, I'm Chris Masby. Oh, it will do. And I want anybody to know this. I taught in the #1 school of freaking business in the United States. Maybe the world. I taught this subject matter. First rule as an environmentalist, as an first rule. First rule, 101. The solution to pollution is not dilution. Nuclear fallout is the opposite of pollution. By definition, the opposite. So if you want to know anyone's a fraud, they use the word dilution, which they all do. Ken Fusler, the rat, uses the word. Chris Phony Busby gets on to, he works for the Queen. He's a propagandist whore. There's a war profiteer. He's the biggest shill in history. He finally gets the platform, does a huge mainstream media freaking thing. They get him on there, and he actually right up at dilution out of his mouth. I'm like, oh my God, that's 101. That's science class in the 7th grade. He said it. I'm like, fuck, really? Oh my God, no. Of course, Arnie Gundershire, we all know what that fucking fraud is about. He's paid by the nuclear industry. He works for the nuclear industry. He's fucking, you know, oppositional resistance to the 10th power. He's made a lot of money off it. They're war profiteers. Helen Caldicott's made a huge money off it. Helen Caldicott, now, I want you to just think about the statement she made on mainstream media. The Japanese are tidy little people. They will clean it up. I don't care what she's talking about. She's talking about the greatest ecological disaster in human history, and that's all she's profiteered is about being anti-nuclear. When the first nuclear fission event happens in human history, the greatest freaking nightmare in human history, ecologically. And she says, They're tidy little people. That statement is so grotesquely racist on its own. It's always a little... It's the one thing, like, in here, when you guys go against the Federal Reserve and you go out and use anti-Semitic rhetoric, pure racist rhetoric. I warned you, just like on Bundy. I warned you and warned you and warned you. Because I know how these fucking morons have been captured. I know how ignorant they are, and I know how they're frauds. I warned you about going in with Bundy on your state freaking sovereign rights. I warned you. I warned you. I says, I know this dichotomy down there. Don't do it. This guy will, and I said this, he'll make statements, sure shit, just a few days later. You listen to his, I mean, he goes on. Now you think about this. He does an interview and says, yeah, the blacks sitting on their porch and doing nothing, whatever, and I think they were better off when they were slaves. Do you know how fucking vile and grotesque that is? Do you know how low IQ and ignorant that is? That's beyond dogma. That's ignorance on Balco. That's the only statement Obama has made decent. That fucking phony fraud fucking... He's the fucking biggest phony fucking fraud. He's worse than Bill Walmart Clinton. And Bill Walmart Clinton ran as a John Kennedy. John Kennedy was spitting his fucking face. Oh, a Rhodes Scholar from Oxford. There's another fraud. Bill Clinton fucking full fucking works for the Queen. 100% Rhodes Scholar. Look it up what a fucking Rhodes Scholar is. Oh, yeah. The Queen fucking the House of Windsor. He said, let him go ahead and say that shit. Just shows their ignorance. Yeah, he's right. So when you guys come to me and you make these fucking anti-Semitic fucking ridiculous, throw the fucking thing in, these racist, not me. I don't play that way, fuckers. I hate discrimination. I hate fucking racism. I hate low IQ ignorance. I hate people that sit around and get in, you know, I made the decision. I've turned down hundreds of interviews along the way because I'm not going to deal with these fucking radical fucking low IQ morons that haven't studied these subjects. It's like Jesse Ventura. It's a perfect example. Jesse Ventura makes a living regurgitating fifth grade knowledge because nobody fucking gathered this knowledge because they were too lazy to read, too lazy to do anything. You know Larry King, he's on Larry King. You know Larry, I just found this out. This is after he's rich and famous, after he's been governor, just recently. You know, I just found out. When they tried to kill Abraham Lincoln, did you know that was a conspiracy? They tried to kill the Secretary of State. They came on like, really? Well, you skipped the fourth grade, fifth grade, and sixth grade? They make a living, so these guys are, the Federal Reserve, it's private, and they just find this out. What the fuck are they? I mean, they're 50, 60-year-olds. And then they go fucking radical and they get radio shows and try to fucking jump into economic theory. They try to jump into fucking philosophical fucking reasoning. They try to fucking jump into history and they cherry pick. Oh no, not with my fucking say. You'll last 3 seconds with me, and I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm here to organize a group of fucking intelligent, hard-nosed, hard fucking core, intelligent, cordial conversations are dangerous, passionate, intelligent arguments get results. That's me. That's my line. All these things are my lines. I want the real deal. We met Shane Russell, Troy Livingston. They're the real fucking deal. Jeff Palco, that's the real fucking deal. Those three all Calgary. The real fucking deal. By the way, we did lots of interviews in Calgary, and Calgary's in total denial. People in Vancouver know, people in Calgary, because Calgary's got a lot of wealth going on right now because of real estate. They living in the house. They think they're fucking rich. So their money's all focused on their money. They doesn't even cross their mind about Fukushima. You know, and I ask lots and lots and lots of people. They're like here. I don't even know. Vancouver knows. San Francisco knows, but they're all caught up in their fucking real estate fucking wealth. They don't care because it's a cultural theme park for fucking Europeans to travel. Oh, we're rich. Look at our real estate. New York's very different than San Francisco and California. The one place when I travel, the best activists in the world are in New York City. I'm telling you. One of my events are in New York City. Oh, they show up. They're educated. They're hard-nosed. And, do they all know about Fukushima? They didn't at first. Boy, they fucking do now. San Diego County. By the way, Fuktonium, man, that's my gig, and I hope Jeff's listening and Ackerman's listening. I finally figured out what his sidekick's going to be named. We invented the Fuktonium can, and we invented that suitcase, which we call our soup case. His sidekick is Chemo Boy. for chemo brains, boys. So we're going to develop that. We're going to develop a logo. We're going to set up our dogma stand at the USS Reagan hearing. We've been in communications with the attorney. We're going to get our permits, you know, and Plutonium Man will be in San Diego on the 19th of August in support of the lawsuit. By the way, I don't know if it's true, but we've got to dive into it. I believe another one of the USS Reagan has passed. People say, oh, this is going to take a lot. No, it's killing now. We know that we got hammered here on the Wasatch, on the Mighty Wasatch, right here, including myself. You know, a whole group of us, people that I know in our community, there's about 30 that I know. You know, from me younger. Well, there's a couple of them, or Cowboy Wayne, he died in his brain. All these people. And Cowboy Wayne, by the way, I've got to tell you, he's an old fucking farmer, cattle rancher, and he fell for the dogma that Bundy Kool-Aid. And I've been talking to him about Fukushima and tell him, hey, you need to keep fresh juice and fruit in your vegetables. Why I'm sick? Oh, fuck yeah. You know, this fucking, got his brain killed him deader than a fucking doornail. And so many of them, our whole group that got sick at the same time. And we all got sick the summer and the fall of 2011. We know what happened. I'm the only one left alive. By the way, when I was on the plane, we were waiting. There was a guy on the plane headed to our hospital from Pendleton, a Marine, cancer in his stomach, which I work with those guys a lot. People don't know this about me. I spend a lot of time in restaurants. I have my whole life, and I don't tell anybody this. I've been doing it for years. And with atomic veterans as they're passing and the end of their lives. I spend a lot of time with those people. That's what I do. And, you know, I talk to him, and I'll be going to see him. He's got a hardcore cancer in his stomach. You know, he's got white phosphorus on him in Fallujah. You know, he's a career Marine. Been a lot of places. You know, he was an amazing guy. And then the young girl I was on the plane with, her close friend up there in Idaho, right there by you, Linda Sauer. I hope you're listening. Got some tumors just like me, and horrible doctors and horrible doctors and horrible doctors told him he was going to be okay, just like, you know, they do. Dead. You know, over and over and over and over. I'm the only one standing out of our group. And I'm going to do some really radical, crazy videos about fighting cancer, and they're going to be intense. Because I don't think people understand. That's where they make the mistake. They don't understand this fight. Just like Forbes. Just like NBC. They're calling us on. Warriors, come out and play. And they say it's criminal to warn the Japanese people of death via radiation. Oh, you don't think they know? Hiroshima, Nagasaki. They're starved for information. Why do you think his comic book is such a huge sell? Because he's calling it like it is in a creative dot. By the way, I love those. He's the first artist, besides Thomas Ackerman, myself, that I'm really proud of his work. Brilliant fucking work. And he's selling his fucking work. It's brilliant work. And for Forbes to come out, you know, it's outrageous. And people say, well, what about those guys? It seems like because only the good die young. You know, Tony Gwynn. It seems like those creepy fuckers like that, they never get sick. But I'm a big believer that life is a test. I don't believe that life on Earth, once you die, is the end. I think it's just part of the path. Has nothing to do with religion. I believe it. My grandma used to always say life is a test. I loved her. She used to say the birds are the God symphony. They were all connected to the earth, and they respected the earth. I mean, if we killed something, we ate it. My grandma used to boil the tail. It used to make me sick. I mean, come in the house, she'd be cooking the cow tongue. Oh, it used to make me sick to this day. Oh, I mean, they ate it all, everything, because they loved the animals. They loved the environment. They loved the plants. They respected it. Now they abuse it, and they try to kill it at all costs. Kill it, kill it, kill it at all costs. It is so outrageous what we're doing to this planet as an arrogant fucking people. For what? For what? You think you got some money? For what? So you can go get some more Botox injections? You're still ugly. It's like I was looking at those two. I don't care how much plastic. You're still ugly. You're ugly people. On the inside, to be beautiful, It's not having fake breasts and Botox in your face. That's overcompensation. To be beautiful is simply an aura that your spirit puts off. And a lot of beautiful people like that, I think, are very lonely people, because I'm a big believer that true love and voice. Oh, I see. You can hear it, huh? I didn't know that. Sorry. So here we go again. That's behind a closed door. There's another one right there. It's fucking these people. These fucking people. Sending our fucking patients. And I'm standing out sore on public grounds. They don't own these grounds. Fuck these people. That's the problem right here. This is what you're up against all day, every day. You're up against this all day, every day. These fucking lunatics. You ought to have seen that one that just come out and talked to me and told me that. You ought to see her offending their fucking patients. Cosmetic services. Standing. I'm 30 feet from the door. She can't hear me. She's full of shit. Like me standing in front of her freaking place of business, which, by the way, I'm standing on a public sidewalk. Big, fat, Nazi-looking freaking slob. Botox. That's what they do in this place, Botox. It's so outrageous. These people are so sick in this country. So gone. Have no sexuality, have no charisma, have no electrical energy that passes through their body, that radiates. They have no good, solid radiation. This guy told me in Canada, and I loved what he had to say. Wow, offending your patients. Wow. Fucking people make me sick. People are willing to be good, obedient slaves. People are willing to go along with the process. It's a sick culture. America's gone. America is totally gone. You don't believe me? Look up the debt. Look up the debt. Look up the average balance sheet of the average American. Oh, we're at full employment. Look around. Europeans travel here, Canadians travel here, anybody travels here. Look around. It is grotesque. The populace, even Christina's there when she come here. So many of these people, but I want, simply look around. It's so sad. We'll continue this conversation on Tuesday. We'll keep hammering away at this. Don't get discouraged, because really, think about it. These fainting goats in America, the fainting goats across North America, to be popular right now would be a giant failure. A giant failure. I talk to people right in their faces all the time here. They're very close loved ones. They're dead of cancer. Not dying of cancer, dead of cancer. Yet they hate the environment. They don't even have a conversation about the causation. Huntsman Center will save us. No, they won't. Huntsman Center will kill you. They're the biggest fraud in all of Utah. The number one industry fastly becoming in Utah is not tourism, is cancer treatment. They're not going to save you. You go to Huntsman, they will kill you. They'll extract every single penny they got. It's like going into a hotel. I met this young girl from Idaho, and she was talking about a family member in Idaho. Finally got him down to Huntsman. And Huntsman, by the way, unless you freaking write them a huge... They're trying to sue me for $1,400 for a phone conversation. I'm like, bring it on. Bring it on. Sue me. I want you to sue me. Let's get this into the domain. Let's get this into court. By the way, I'm going to sue the fuck out of McCady Hospital. I've been trying to get help there, get the right finances put together. I'm going to go after them. Stand tuned. We'll keep this conversation going. These guys have declared war on us. Let's fight back. They want a war? Let's have one. You want to fight? They're trying to pick a fight with us? Let's fight the bully. Let's punch the bully in his mouth. Let's do it intelligently. Let's do it articulately. Let's do it with creativity, like he did in Japan.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Twingate 311.